What's going on, guys? As always, I'm LCU, and I just wanted to hop on here to talk about what I think is pound for pound the best trilogy of all time, the Before Trilogy. To kick things off, what better way to start it than starting from the beginning? So let's talk about Before Sunrise. Before Sunrise is a truly unique film, especially when viewed in today's era. Unlike conventional love stories that revolve around the simple notion of two individuals falling in and out of love, Before Sunrise presents a complex approach to exploring the intricacies of a relationship. The film lacks a conventional plot, if you will. Instead, it primarily relies on its dialogue, complemented by the exceptional cinematography. The love story depicted in Before Sunrise is nothing short of captivating. It centers around two individuals from vastly different backgrounds who unexpectedly meet and fall in love. This portrayal of youth naivety, free responsibilities, and the pursuit of love stands alone as a remarkable aspect of the film. The script, crafted by Richard Linklater, Kim Kreisen, Ethan Hawke, who's uncredited, and Julie Delpy, who's also uncredited, is nothing short of exceptional. The writer's connection and the authenticity of the dialogue create a genuine and grounded feel, as if the film was a documentary capturing the daily lives of two individuals. The conversations and actions feel so real that it's as if the camera crew was simply following them around all day. Beyond its romantic elements, Before Sunrise delves into profound themes that explore life, love and relationships, feelings, and the influence of media, parents, and others as well. These themes are never exhausted or diminished, adding depth and richness to the film. The writing and direction perfectly embody the law of attraction, showcasing how the characters' mutual affection and intention to each other are evident in their conversations and interactions. You can tell how much they actually like each other and pay attention to one another just by how they have conversations and how that the one that isn't talking is listening with their ears and their eyes. Their chemistry was instantly captivating, with remarkable deliveries that set the stage for the film's success. Their entire runtime revolves around their conversations and bonding over shared and contrasting experiences, showcasing the beauty of opposites attracting and also similar values holding things together. Now, this is just my personal opinion, so bear with me. It almost feels like drunken love. Let me explain. When you're drunk, you're usually open and sometimes too open to expressing your feelings and thoughts without worrying about the consequences after. In the case of Ethan Hawke and Julie Delpy, they simply say what they're feeling, and somehow, regardless whether it's good or bad, it brings them closer and deeper in love. I found that to be incredibly interesting and emotionally impactful. As mentioned earlier, there was no real conflict between the two leads, which helps set this film apart from many others that fall into that same trope. However, the conflict that did arise was their limited time together, hence the title of the film. Watching these two characters navigate such a short period felt like a warm hug from your grandmother. It was as if you were witnessing their day through their eyes, or you were a fly on the wall, witnessing their bond grow stronger with each passing moment, creating a natural tension that you knew was destined to end, even though it didn't feel like it because you were so engrossed in their connection. As individual characters, Ethan Hawke was fantastic. Initially, he was quite shy and guarded, but as time passes, he becomes more comfortable, transforming into this charismatic, energetic, and determined character. Julie Delpy, in my opinion, was the better of the bunch. Her character remained consistent through the whole film. She's an outgoing yet quiet character, well-spoken and grounded, and an excellent listener. She always seemed to have a bit of wisdom to share, despite her youth. And the last thing that really brought this film together was the cinematography. It was simple, yet very effective. Wide, long takes and reverse shots during dialogue scenes are used, but sometimes less is more. Richard Linklater uses moving backgrounds to add life to each frame, and clever long wide takes to show both characters' reactions to the conversation. He also incorporates handheld shots to make you feel like you're even there. Then the icing on the cake was the lovely scenery shots of the town being some of the most beautiful in the film. Now, while the film was so easy to get invested in and easy to watch, there are just a few things that hold it back. First, and really my only issue, was Ethan Hawke's character to an extent. He is a flawed character, which is a beautiful demonstration on its own, but to an extent, it becomes a bit problematic for me. After making the drunk love comment I made earlier, it almost feels like he gets overconfident when he realizes that she likes him. He starts off sweet and soft-spoken, but then comes out a bit too strong at times, almost coming off overly horny at times. Maybe I'm alone on this, but there were certain moments where it seemed like she was getting annoyed with him, but it didn't play out that way, so it doesn't really matter. There are just a couple of minuscule things, like some slow moments at times, and sometimes the script can come off a bit preachy. But overall, Before Sunshine was absolutely fantastic. I don't know why it took me so long to watch this film, but I will absolutely be rewatching it many times in the near future. Now, with that glorious film aside, let's talk about that middle chunk and what I think is the best film of the trilogy, Before Sunset. Richard Linklater's Before Sunset is a remarkable achievement, coming close to, if not surpassing the magic of its predecessor Before Sunrise. While the first one was groundbreaking and almost dreamlike, Before Sunset strikes a more grounded and mature tone. Similarities between the two films are evident, but they also differ significantly in conversational styles and emotions explored. Before Sunset stands as one of the most beautiful films that I've ever seen, quickly becoming a top 20 favorite in my extensive filmography of nearly 1,200 movies, despite my strong bias towards films of my youth. What truly sets Before Sunset apart is its remarkable pacing. Despite its 75-minute runtime, the film flies by effortlessly thanks to the engaging characters and the brilliance of the screenplay. I found myself unable to take my eyes off the screen, captivated by every moment, where it even became hard to take notes for this film because I didn't want to miss a beat. Before Sunset delves into profound themes of regret, second chances, and fate, infusing these concepts with extraordinary depth through its exceptional script. I was already eagerly anticipating the sequel, having been deeply moved by the first film. However, Before Sunset takes the audience on a delightful, yet tension-filled journey, upending our expectations and transforming it into a masterpiece. Ethan Hawke and Julie Delpy's chemistry in the first one was undeniable, but they managed to elevate their performance in this one to breathtaking heights. Their character work is truly remarkable, with minimal editing cuts allowing them to deliver incredibly long, immersive conversations to get soaked into. I'm amazed by how they managed to remember their lines due to the lack of cuts and elongated dialogue. The writing in this film is simply wonderful. Linklater and both leads have mastered their characters, bringing them to life with such authenticity. Their bond and chemistry are palpable on screen, almost effortless and pressure-free. It feels like they captured two people in love, simply letting them talk. Their conversations are so relaxed and enjoyable, filled with so much witty banter and genuine enjoyment of each other's company. It's hard to imagine any two actors capturing the same level of connection or understanding that these two did. Everything about their interactions feel natural. Everything comes off very genuine to how they can talk over one another, drop in a cheeky joke in between meaningful pieces of dialogue just to kind of lighten up the mood a bit, certain expressions to certain statements, and how well they listen to each other, or they'll reference a comment one made early on and then sort of make a joke about it. In contrast to the first film, the conversations in this one are much more mature and thought-provoking. They delve into the real-life feelings and emotions discussing life and love as adults. They even hint at some world commentary as well, adding depth to their portrayal. The last film maintained a consistent tone, focusing on their journey of getting to know each other and falling in love. However, this film introduces genuine conflict from both parties, allowing them to showcase their true emotions. It's evident that their initial interactions had a profound impact on them, and their conversations reflect that. Overall, I could talk about this film on and on, like I said, becoming one of my favorite films after one watch. This film hits all the right notes, to me, being an absolutely perfect film. That movie is fantastic. Now, let's cap this off with the last film of the trilogy, Before Midnight. Before Midnight beautifully flows with the first two films, capturing what made them great, such as the long, engaging dialogues, scenic shots, and the handheld camera work. Although I absolutely could have been easily invested into another love story or love journey with these two, this one takes a completely different and even more mature turn, standing out on its own for several reasons. Firstly, its visual style. It's distinct with a cleaner look compared to the previous two movies. And secondly, the conversation between Jesse and Celine takes a different and more mature turn, delving into the challenge couples face after a decade of daily companionship. Before Midnight tackles a lot of hard-hitting themes about a split family and the toll it takes on the parents involved, and also the kids as well, while also coupling in a sweeter theme of appreciate what you have and always make time for one another and to always fill the pot for one another, because life catches up to you and you can distract you from all the good things and times that you have. And with that, it still pays off massively and is a true classic along the other two films as well. This film is set 9 years after their second encounter, which this film presents a puzzle that requires careful observation to understand their current state and future trajectory. The distinct tone and introduction to new characters contribute to the sense of change. The opening scene sets the tone for the rest of the film, establishing this somber, glum, and almost tense atmosphere that contrasts with the lighter tone of the other two movies. The floating conflicts between Jesse's son, Jesse and Celine, their new families, their occupations, and friends also create a palpable sense of tension throughout the film. Ethan Hawke and Julie Delpy, despite their age, still possess some of the most captivating chemistry in cinema history for my money. Their connection continues to evolve, showcasing their remarkable growth since the first two films. Their conversations range from being playful and adorable to profound and mature, effectively addressing real-world themes of divorce and blended families. While the first two films focus on romantic relationships, this one takes a unique turn, delving into the downfall of a long-term partnership. It can be emotionally taxing, not just because we care deeply for the characters and their bond, but also due to the harsh words exchanged, the slander, and also their body language when they're saying these lines. The film spends about half of its runtime with the characters still in love, attempting to reconcile their differences. However, the most captivating part of the film lies in the argument section, which defies the traditional definition of a scene. It spans an astonishing 45 minutes long, leaving the audience in absolute awe. Now, both characters present compelling arguments. Delpy's character grapples with the stress of being a first-time mother while juggling family responsibilities and her career, highlighting the sacrifices she makes to create a home. Hawke's character, on the other hand, reflects the risks he took by leaving his old life behind and starting anew with somebody new, while his old life continues at home, causing him guilt and depression. Despite both having strong cases, Both characters harbor toxicity in their perspectives, leading to a dramatic and groundbreaking argument that leaves the audience spellbound. The audience is left in a state of uncertainty, torn between supporting one side or both of them, and hoping for the best possible outcome to their relationship. Before Midnight is certainly comparable to the other two films, but there are just a few minor factors that prevent it from reaching its full potential. The first issue I have is with the supporting characters. They're all complementary to our two leads. However, when they were on screen, it felt as if you were yearning for them to be out of focus, allowing for the focus to return to our two leads, who are undoubtedly the driving force behind these films. The last issue / nitpick that I have is the ending. While it concludes in a spectacular manner, it almost felt incomplete in a way. I'm not sure if this was intentional, but if it was, it certainly works. Don't get me wrong. However, it leaves me wondering if there could have been an additional 5 to 10 minutes added to provide a more satisfying and concrete ending. Overall, Before Midnight is still fantastic. I genuinely believe there isn't a weak film in this trilogy, with this being the absolute best trilogy I've ever seen, and I'd even say pound for pound best trilogy of all time. You see what I'm saying now? Now, as a whole, like I said, I think pound for pound, this is the best trilogy of all time. I gave the first film a 9, the second film a 10, and the last film an 8. When you average it all out, it comes out to a whopping 9 out of 10 for an overall trilogy. Let me know what you think about the Before trilogy in the comments below, and drop me a comment and let me know what you think the best trilogy of all time is. See you guys in the next one.